Cosmo UK cover to feature morbidly obese model. Critics are up in arms, saying you guys are normalizing obesity. Are they really? Is Tess Holliday doing humanity a disservice by promoting the body positivity movement? I'm an activist. You can be obese, it's healthy. No, it's not, folks. These are dangerous times. We're being tricked all the time through the media, through the newspapers, through the magazines. We have to realize how easily our brains are molded by the media. What a lot of people have to do, and they haven't done this yet, is think to themselves, who owns the media? When you find out that the people who own the media are the same small group of people that own every major sector of human endeavor that can be used to mold our brains and make us think anything is normal, even accepting obesity. Now, it's interesting here in America, 97% of Americans are getting too much protein. And yet 97% of Americans aren't getting enough fiber. And this is by design, folks. We're being brainwashed to eat bad foods so that we're overfed and undernourished at the same time. There are epidemics of obesity and starvation at the same time for the same reason. Food is a weapon system. Food can be used to control the masses. It has throughout history. How do you conquer a nation? You enact an embargo. You don't let them satisfy their needs. Cut off the supply lines. You poison the food, you poison the water. If they're held up in a castle alongside a river, you dam up the river upstream so you eventually kill them that way. That's on an immediate scale. On a more long-term scale, it's done by taking away the knowledge we need to know what to eat. So half the world doesn't get to eat it all. The other half, we eat worthless food because we don't know any better. Our experts don't know any better. They're clueless. And now they're trying to normalize obesity. And they've already done that with other issues. They've normalized a lot of things because things are getting worse in certain areas that should be a warning sign. Look, more heart disease, more cancer, more this, more that. It's okay. It's normal. Got a bad gallbladder? It's not a problem. We do, we'll take it out. We do this all the time. It's a normal procedure. That's what they tell you. I couldn't help but think of a TV show I was watching. I watch TV for one reason, to try to get an idea of what the masses are thinking and how we're being brainwashed. And there's a show, what's the name of it? Alaska Bush People, I think it is. They just started a new season. And the youngest of them all, Noah, took off from everyone. I guess they've been doing this series for a while, so they probably were paid some decent money. And he takes off and wants to find himself, and he breaks away from the family. These people were being brought up in Alaska wilderness, and they had to pretty much live off the land. For them, going into a really small town, a treat for them would be to get a pizza. And they didn't have a whole lot of things to choose from when you got into that store. Again, for them, a treat would be to make some s'mores out in the woods. But anyway, old Noah takes off and reunites his family as the beginning of the season starts. And when I saw him, I go, man, he must have gained 50, 80 pounds. Maybe 50 at least. And you could tell what happened to him. And I was reflecting on this the other day because the power went off in my neighborhood. And it was starting to get hot inside, and started to walk around the neighborhood to see if the power was neighborhood-wide. And it was, except for the local grocery store that had a backup system. So I went inside there and did what I do occasionally. I walk down aisles I never go down and reflect on what I see. And I walked down the snack aisle and was somewhat ashamed at how many of those foods I recognized. Remember, I'm 64. Didn't change my diet until I was 32 to a plant-based diet. Didn't go raw until 36. So I had a good 32 years of horrible eating. And even when I was a plant-based diet, was eating a vegan-based diet, I was still eating, you know, a big carton of Mother's cookies or something, worthless crap. Had no idea what I was eating. But anyway, I go down this aisle and I recognize a lot of food items, but then I go, wow, look, they used to have these cheese and crackers. Now they got dozens of different varieties, or they're putting different types of things inside these now. And that was true with just about everything I'd seen. And again, I haven't looked at these products in a long time. And I walked around other parts of the store, the dessert sections with all the different cakes and pies and all these amazing things they created, and the gourmet food items where they had all this packaged food already made, ready to eat. And all I could think of was Noah, this poor Alaskan bush boy, going into a big grocery store like this for the first time and having a lot of money. And, you know, probably got paid decent while he was doing those shows. At least enough to spend several $100s on groceries, not bat an eye about it. And I just visualized him just grabbing everything that I was looking at, saying, I got to try this and this and this and this. And I can only imagine what his basket looked like when he came out. And of course, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the first thing he does, he pulls up his shirt and goes, look, they took out my gallbladder. And you see stretch marks on his belly where he gained a bunch of weight. And of course, he was told what I just said a little while ago. We do this operation all the time. It's a normal procedure. What most people think is normal is frightening. Most people think eating hot dogs is normal, but eating raw okra is weird. Raw okra. God, I love raw okra. This world is completely backwards. We've been brainwashed into eating empty calories. We've been brainwashed to think processed foods devoid of any nutrition is normal. Cereals and crackers and cookies and pasta made with processed white flour or wheat that they strip everything away. All you're getting is just empty calories. Somehow that's supposed to be normal. And yet the fruits and vegetables, no, they're the bad guys. Fruit that has sugar in it. There's no surprise we have an obesity epidemic. There's no surprise that the powers that be are trying to normalize obesity because obesity is on the increase. It's by design, my friends. Food is a weapon system. And they are normalizing obesity. They're normalizing all sorts of problems that we have that should be red flags saying, what's going on? Used to be 10%, now it's 33%. It's gone up. Why is that? I'll never forget a statistic I heard about a decade ago or so, where processed foods went from 180,000 to 360,000 in 10 years. Diabetes type 2 doubled in 10 years also. Is there a connection? Obviously. Folks, if you're having a weight problem, there's a reason why we have a problem with it. We don't understand there's 7 major components of weight. We don't understand that most of the food we're eating is unnatural. And the only way to make any sense out of all this is simply to take a solid food vacation. I have a 2-hour seminar down below in the description box with 28 related videos to help you understand how to get a clue as to what to eat. As long as we're still eating, we're going to struggle eating the wrong food. If you're struggling with obesity or cancer or crime or any other problem that we have to realize we're the enemy. We're doing it to ourselves. Sure, the media is the enemy by attacking us and normalizing bad things, but they're a reflection of us. Everything is a reflection of what we do. That's why I say over and over, each and every one of us plays a role in either keeping us where we are in the dark ages of our history, or getting us out of this hole and bringing us back to the golden ages we had long ago, where we didn't have this dark side to our behavior. Don't get tricked into thinking that this is part of our DNA and that there's any relationship between us and predation in nature. We're the enemy, folks. But we're also the ones that we're waiting for. We are the heroes if we can just take responsibility. And that all begins with you. By testing an idea as time has come. Take a solid food vacation. Within 1 week, You have that light bulb moment because you'll still be eliminating. Within several months, you have the aha moment. And you realize, wow, I've been on the hero's journey. Now I've got some meaning in my life. Now I can go around and help people understand they don't need to suffer. And when we can get that message around to everyone, we'll be in for a treat.